When I first met him, we actually met online. His name was Wolverine, which was at the time irrelevant to me. I really didn't know anything about it. I didn't read comic books or anything like that.
When we lived in Lincoln, Nebraska, the closest venture was in
To St. Joe, Missouri.
Janelle had a gas guzzler of a van. So we get in the van and we drive the whatever it is, 2.5 hours to St. Joe, Missouri to get a $10 action figure. And we probably spent $80 or $90 in gas alone.
I think at one point he told me that was when he decided that maybe he could keep me around. People have asked me how I can let him do this, how I can allow this kind of money to be spent on it, the time and effort that goes into it. But one, it makes him happy. Two, it has never distracted him from being there for me or for our children. Having come from very little, my needs are met, my children's needs are met. He's happy. I don't know what else they're supposed to be in life.
I was minding my own business when that filthy mutant bumped into me. "Excuse me," he says. I excused him, right in his face.
I like your style, Mr. Logan.
Right.
And Wolverine is my favorite. I think I relate to him the most as well. He's for the reason that he's a short character, and you know, he's rough and tough, and he wants to protect his friends, and I've always kind of been that type of person. I don't have claws that come out of my hands, so I can't get vicious or like that. But just kind of, you know, the whole mutant thing, just being an outsider, being different for who you are, whether it's your size or your height or your hair color, whatever the case may be. But I just felt kind of like him, just kind of a loner. And that's how I've associated.
There's a lot of complexity to a lot of these stories, and learning more about the history of the comic book in general and the characters, and they aren't the fluff that people think they are. You know, I've seen a lot of people, like I said, people discounted Eric's Passion because they thought it was something that children do. Well, it's turned out that there's a huge depth to that unfortunately a lot of us were late getting to understand.
Sometimes you get some really weird, strange things. So for example, here is a 6-armed Wolverine. This is from Russia. And this is from Mexico, but it's a pink apocalypse. So just getting some of these weird stuff. And then what's cool about these that you see right here is it's the same action figure, but from what I understand, the company kept getting shut down. So when they got shut down, they changed the name. So you can see this one says Uncanny X-Men, this one says Super X. Then sliding over here a little bit, they have Uncanny Master and Uncanny Super Warrior. So it's kind of neat to, you know, track all these down and have all these items. But the Papa John's pizza box, so that's from X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Papa John's was a sponsor. So when they came out with that, I wanted the box. I wanted a box without a pizza because I've got to have it clean. So I contacted them, the local Papa John's, and I said, I would like to buy a pizza, but I also want to buy a box. They're like, what? I said, I want to buy a box that doesn't have a pizza in it. So if I have to pay a full price for another pizza, that's okay. And on the phone, they're like, why do you want a box? I said, well, I'm an X-Men collector and I just want for my collection. And his response is, I'll just give you a box. And it's one of those things where he probably was thinking, I get asked so many weird questions. I've never been asked for just a box or somebody wanting to buy just a box. But so the pizza was great, but I got an extra box for my collection. So getting to meet Stan, and at the time, he and I were both in the same Guinness World Record book on opposite pages, because he had, I think it was for him being in the most movies or something about that. I don't remember at the time, but then my collection was in there as well. So I got to show him and he said, now we're connected for life. So I thought that was I immediately wrote that on Facebook and posted that out there. And, you know, after his passing, of course, I really treasure the fact that I got to meet him.
This is just one small part of our lives. As you know, yes, it's taking up an entire room and then some in our house, but it's just one little piece of everything that he is, that we are, that, you know, our life is. It's not all about this.